there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday, it's October 5th of 2022, and as always, we've got lots to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I wanted to let you know that we have received an update from the Majestic Princess. We have Let's Go family members on board, and that is on the Trans-Pacific, and so they stopped in Hawaii, and then they are heading down to Sydney. Well, they're going to make a couple of other stops as well, but I wanted to let you know that since that is a Trans-Pacific, it is one of the cruises that Princess is requiring additional testing for. So all of the passengers had to be tested before they arrived in Hawaii, is my understanding. And during that testing, we've had it reported that there was 0.005% of the passengers on board. So I was trying to guess about how many people that might be based on how many people are on board. And just based on what I'm guessing at, I think maybe 9 people tested positive, which I think is not bad at all. I have not heard if they're asymptomatic or if they're not feeling well. I haven't heard anything like that, but it makes me glad that it was only 9 people and not any, not a lot. So we've got that update. Other than that, everything is going really well. They are asking people to please wear their masks if they're not in the cabin, they're not eating or drinking. And so I would love to hear some more updates from anyone on that sailing as well. The next ship that I wanted to let you know about is the Sapphire Princess. I only hear good things about the Sapphire Princess. She is sailing to Hawaii, and the reports that we have received, they say that the food, the buffet, the entertainment, the crew, everything is exceptional. Everything is exceptional, and everything is going really well. So hats off to Princess on the Sapphire Princess sailing there, and it's really exciting to have her back in action. So she just started sailing again not quite 2 weeks ago, and so it's really great to have her back in action. The next thing that I wanted to make sure that you are aware of is we received word that on the Queen Victoria, masking is also required now, and I looked just a few minutes ago on marine traffic, and she is sailing right this moment between Gibraltar and Southampton. And so I have not heard any reports about how many cases there are on board and what made that required, but as of yesterday afternoon, I believe it was, our Let's Go family member let us know that the masking was then required. That announcement had been made. Now, one thing that we don't talk about really often, and I want to talk about it more, is a little bit of the comparison between different cruise lines. And so we have a Let's Go family member who just very recently sailed on Holland America, and they had just been on the Discovery Princess. And they were so very kind to send me just a little bit of a comparison between the two sailings and just some differences that they noticed. Now, there are some things that I think are just integral differences between the cruise lines and just kind of the way things are set up and have always been. But let me tell you a few things. So they talked about the cabin service. Now, when I was on Holland America, and I have heard they always have 2 cabin stewards. On Princess, we always have 1 cabin steward, and unfortunately, this person didn't get all of the service that he was hoping for on Princess. So he was saying that on Holland America, he received excellent service, but I honestly think that that depends a little bit on which cabin steward you get, because we have always had excellent cabin stewards for the most part. So I think that is on a per person basis, but I get that if you happen to have 2 cabin stewards, if one isn't quite as much of a dynamo and doing everything that you would hope for, there's always another one to pick up the slack. Now, they did mention that they had asked for a bucket of ice to be in their cabin, and they didn't receive that. The steward said that Princess doesn't do that anymore. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't go get it for them. When I remember when we first started sailing on Princess, they always just had a bucket of ice in our cabin all the time. They kept it fresh, and it was actually really nice. And no, I don't think that they do that regularly now, but I think if you've got a good cabin steward, they'll be happy to do it for you. That's just my thought based on what the service that we have received when we have been on Princess lately. But be aware, when I was on Holland America, he did ask if I wanted ice in the cabin, and he did indeed keep it fresh. I just asked for it on one day that I was on Glacier Beatty, that I knew I would be there a lot. And so heads up about that. Now, another thing that he mentioned is that they did get with the beverage packages. Now, this is a difference. So with Holland America, if you get the classic soda package or you get their signature beverage package, canned soda is what they give you. If you walk up to a bar or anywhere like that, well, a bar, or else they have like little bar type places set up in their buffet, which I think is actually really nice. So you just walk up, and if you want a soda, they just hand you a can of soda. And so I always ask for a glass with ice with it, and they're very happy to do that. But they don't just do the fountain drinks like they do on Princess. If you want the canned soda, Princess has a separate canned soda package, but otherwise you're just going to have to pay extra for that can of soda. So that is a really big difference between the two, and I don't know why they do it that way. Now see, on Princess, if you've got the Plus or the Premier beverage package and you ask for a bottle of water, they are going to hand you a bottle of water at the bar, no charge. On Holland America, if you ask for some water, they're going to hand you a can of water, like a soda can of water. And so that is also another difference. I don't know why that is that way. I know that Princess has been that way since we started sailing in 2014, which I know so many of you have been sailing so much longer. So let us know down in our comments here if you have anything else to add about that. I would really appreciate if you have any input on anything like that. But I do think it's really important to go ahead and go through as you're preparing to go for a cruise, like look at what is included in the beverage package that you are buying, or what is not included. And so that's a really important thing to be aware of. Now, I have never been disappointed on Princess. They usually get the mix really good on the Diet Coke. When we went to Antarctica, I didn't think it was quite right, and this is crazy me. I asked about that, and turns out that they had Coke Zero there. It was not Diet Coke, and so, which was fine. It was good. It was no problem. But I've always had a really good luck with Princess and their soda package. That's usually what Gordon and I get, because on Princess, the soda package includes all the fountain soda, the juices, the smoothies, the mocktails, and I'm trying to remember what else, but it includes most of those non-alcoholic beverages. So, but it does not include bottled water. Remember that. So I just wanted to talk to you about the main differences he noticed, and he also noticed that Princess does not give that tote bag any longer. So you know what, if anybody from Princess is watching this, that tote bag is another thing that was a bigger deal than you realized. So many people are not happy about those tote bags going away, and I don't think that they would cost you very much to bring them back. I looked up, and of course it depends on the variety, the quantity that you're going to order, but they're very inexpensive. You might just want to think about that. You can make people so happy with a cheap tote bag, okay? But he did say that if you have sailed with Holland America before, they give you that Delft blue little tile, and it's unique to the different ships. And so when I'm home, I'm sorry, I'm not home right now, but I'll show you mine. They gave me one when I got to go on Holland America this summer. And so I think it's just another special thing they do to recognize people that have sailed with them before. I think it's amazing that they go out of their way to offer something. So those, I would say, are the very main comparisons. Now, I did notice one other thing that I think is really important to mention is that I know that on Holland America at the buffet, the crew is still serving everyone. And I would say that it goes really slow on the ships that I have, well, I've only been on one, Holland America, but it was not a full sailing, and it went really, really slow. So that would be a drawback, but at the same time, if you're someone that worries about germs and all of that, then you don't have to worry about it. But that's another thing that's a big difference right now. And then finally, I wanted to let you know that, you know what? Royal Caribbean currently has like 1,400 job openings for entertainers. And the reason that I'm telling you about this is because so often when you have an entertainer who is trying to break into the business, whether they're doing music or any other type of performance, the really hard thing often is for them to be able to get a gig to do it, somewhere to do it so that people can see them and start following them and hopefully get the following that they need to become more well known and do better with what they're doing. So with Royal Caribbean having 1,400 job openings, I'm telling you this because maybe you or maybe one of your family members would really like to have the opportunity to perform, and you would get paid for it. You would get to see the world, you get to work on a cruise ship. I just think it would be really fun. If I were trying to break into show business or any other kind of performance, I would definitely apply. I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and so put the word out there to your friends, to your family members, anybody doing that. And I do happen to know that they have varying contracts, and they pay their performers well enough that, for example, on Holland America, I remember one of you said that when you go to the Lincoln Center stage, that they have those musicians who are exceptional, and they were saying that they often stay there longer because Holland America pays them well, and it's hard to find good paying long-term jobs as a musician. And so I think this is a really good option. And so take a look at Royal Caribbean's website and help anybody you know that wants to break into the big times or just wants to see the world. This is an amazing opportunity. So if any of you are on a cruise ship or have anything to report, I'd love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments or let us know. Just send me an email if you would like to. Gordon always puts it down below, but if you can't find it, it's just Let's Go Travel Tips, no apostrophe or anything. Just let's go travel tips at gmail.com. And if you have not subscribed, we would just love to have you with us in our Let's Go family. And if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up, because that really does help us a lot. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.